Ice Cream Conversation. Ice Cream Conversation. Forever on the grind all day, every day. Ice cream combos, always real, they never play. Download the podcast, listen on any day. Why didn't I do this sooner? Only thing you ever say. Xaviera, best host of all time. All of the faithful listeners will say they never lie. Check every story they run, like me with the rhymes. When other shows report anything, it should be a crime. Entertainment news, yeah, I gotta get mine from ICC, and you should be inclined to do the same if you got half a mind. I do co-sign this lady to shine like Frankenstein. Cut it the day design. IceCreamCombos.com. Tune in, yeah. This influence by IceCreamCombos.com.
Welcome to the Ice Cream Convos Podcast, where we serve delicious scoops of entertainment and celebrity news. I am your host, Xaviera, and I thank you for tuning in to our very first episode of 2019. Okay, so first things first, I'm recording in my kitchen and the acoustics are a little weird in here. But it's a sunny day and I wanted to be able to sit where I can look out the window rather than sitting in my bat cave where I am totally secluded and the sound sounds like I'm in somebody's recording booth. So work with me. New year, new me. Well, actually not. You know how, like, when the new year comes in and everyone's like, yeah, new year, new me. They start laying out their resolutions like school clothes on the first day of school. And I realized that it's a new year, but it's the same old me. And I'm very, very nervous about that. I'm not even going to lie to kick it. I have a lot of things that I need to change about myself, my habits, my workflow, if I'm trying to take Ice Cream Convos to the next level in 2019. So I'm going to need y'all to put your left hand and your right hand together and say a little prayer for me with that, because I am definitely working on that. But I am so excited, and I'm most excited about you tuning into today's podcast. We got a lot of things to discuss, and some things you may be sick and tired of talking about. And trust and believe me, I am sick and tired of talking about it too. But there are some things that can't be ignored. And maybe the fact that we have for so long, have been ignoring certain things and letting certain things fly under the radar to the point where it's blown up. So in today's episode, we will be discussing Robert Sylvester Kelly. Lord. We'll be talking about this Jasmine Eiland story that literally has social media like in a chokehold. We'll be talking about Chris Brown's latest plight, Wendy Williams, Alicia Keys hosting the Grammys, and some other cool stuff. So first things first, before we get started, just some reminders. Please subscribe to the Ice Cream Convos podcast wherever you listen. We are on Spotify. We are on iTunes. We are on Spreaker. We are on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shout out to everyone who subscribed to the ICC YouTube channel. I felt like I was in some type of GoFundMe fundraiser trying to get people to subscribe to our new YouTube page last year. When I tell y'all completely stressed me out with that. But we have made it past 1,000. My goal was to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So thank you all so much. And thank you all for your support and allowing me to see that come to fruition. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm just excited about some new things that we got going on this year. I am very excited. As you can tell, I'm excited. I said excited like 30 times. Take a shot of liquor every time I say excited. I am very excited to let you know that the ICC podcast is coming back. Not the podcast. We are on the podcast. Well, yeah, hell yeah, the podcast coming back. But I'm bringing back the app. Now, I know some of y'all are still wondering what the hell happened to our app. All I'm going to say, for the sake of protecting my integrity, is that I had a major hissy fit meltdown in my bedroom one day last year and decided that I was shutting down Ice Cream Convos for good. So I started tearing down and shutting down everything associated with Ice Cream Convos, including the app. Like, the website was the last Mayday button I was going to push. And luckily someone talked me out of doing that, but they didn't catch me before I deleted the app. So now I'm working on creating a brand new app for Ice Cream Convos to make it very, very easy for you to read our post, see our YouTube videos, visit our Amazon store, because we do have an Amazon store now, because I am an Amazon, I guess I'm considered like an influencer or whatever on Amazon. So anytime I see something really cool that I like, I throw it into the Ice Cream Convos store on Amazon. So slide through there and peruse through there and see if it's anything that you like. So we have the Amazon. I'm bringing back the app. We have our YouTube popping, and this course. Now, a lot of y'all have been asking me about this blogging course. And when I tell y'all, I've been dragging my feet like my kneecaps don't work with this blogging course. And it's only because I had poor time management in between running Ice Cream Convos full time, being a dance mom, trying to make sure that I can still see my cootie cat over my fupa. It's a lot of different things that I got going on right now that I got to prioritize. But the course is coming, and I'm really, really holding myself to this because I just want to make it so fantastic that you feel like it's the best thing that ever happened to you in your life. And I want to make sure that I include every single thing that I wish someone had taught me, told me, showed me when I started blogging. Like, I don't want to half-ass this thing. I want to go in full throttle, and I want y'all to leave this course feeling like this girl she just set me up for all kind of successes in my life. And I just love her. And me and Zavi going to be friends for the rest of my life. And I just want to see you pop off your own businesses, and you pop off your own websites, and that they be big and large and prosperous and fruitful the way Ice Cream Convos has been to me. So that's that. So I think that's all of our housekeeping notes. Okay. So podcast, I'm going to try to do my best to do the podcast on Wednesday. And then on Sunday, we will have our live Sunday night chat. Let me preface that by saying, if there's a competition on a Sunday night, then I won't be chatting. So you'll just have to catch everything that I was going to tell you on Sunday night on the Wednesday podcast. Make sense? Capiche, capiche, cool. All right. So with that being said, I'm just very excited. And let's go ahead and get into this thing. So 2019 got kicked off with a major bomb. I don't want to call it a bombshell because that's kind of like we didn't know it was coming. But we knew this Surviving R. Kelly docuseries was coming for a couple months, right? So when it finally got here, it was like, bam. It was six episodes, 3 nights of pure, what? And so I watched all 3 episodes. All 3 nights, 6 episodes. And I'm just going to say this. I take full responsibility for being one of those people. I knew what R. Kelly was about many, many moons ago. I remember when he initially married Aaliyah. I remember when the tape came out with the little girl. I saw the tape. I wasn't seeking out the tape, but somebody who had somebody who's somebody. And I ended up seeing the tape. And as far as I'm concerned, I saw R. Kelly and I saw an underage little girl. The whole thing with Aaliyah, it was a rumor for a very long time until someone unearthed the marriage certificate. So there are certain things that laid the foundation for R. Kelly very early in his career that will not allow me to make excuses, will not allow me to turn the blind eye or give him the benefit of the doubt with any of these new allegations that have come up. And it's crazy because, as this thing is unfolding and more details are coming out and more people are coming forward. And then, he started his website. Well, he didn't start the website, but he started a Facebook page or someone in his camp. Because if R. Kelly can't allegedly read or write, I seriously doubt he launched a Facebook page, dropping receipts on somebody. So it had to be someone in his crew or in his camp that was doing this for him. He may have been instructing, but I seriously doubt he was hitting all them keystrokes. So with that being said, it's like, it was just very interesting for me to see all of the different opinions, all of the different stances people took on this particular situation when it comes to R. Kelly. And while I respect everyone's right to draw their own conclusions with R. Kelly, I respect folks' right to draw their own conclusions. I'm not going to say that I respect the conclusion that you came to, if that makes sense, right? Me as a mom, I got 2 daughters. R. Kelly got tunes for days, and I'm not going to act like I wasn't jamming. But after seeing what I've seen and knowing what I know, and for years I I let it slide under the radar. But now that I'm older and I look at life differently, and I look at being a mom differently, I look at having daughters differently, I look at young women differently, I look at black women differently, because I've matured and I've gotten older and I understand how a lot of things work in this world. I can't get jiggy with the tunes. I can't. But to each his or her own. But it's just crazy, some of the things that I saw, especially black women saying. One woman in particular, and I blocked her off of all of my social media pages. She said something to the effect that, like, y'all need to stop lying on R. Kelly, and I hope he pee on some more kids. Okay, then if they're lying on R. Kelly, why would he still be peeing on other kids? So you got to decide which side of the fence you're going to be on, sister girl. It's just crazy. Like, some of the comments just make you lose, it makes you lose faith in humanity. It makes you wonder how some people function in daily life. And this just not pertaining to R. Kelly, just some of the things that people just say in general. It just makes you wonder how people function in this world. But it is what it is. With that being said, R. Kelly is out here. He said he was going to sue Lifetime. He said he was going to sue the accusers. I haven't seen a lawsuit yet, and one of the things that I've seen a lot, especially working with, entertainment news and celebrity news, people posture with lawsuits all the time. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue this. I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue this because it sounds good. You think if somebody getting ready to take legal action, then they mean business and they must really have a case. And then you never, it just fades in the wind. You never hear about said lawsuit. The lawsuit is never filed, but it sounds really good, in the posturing part of it. But, it's interesting. I, for one, can admit I am tired of writing about R. Kelly. I'm actually tired of hearing about R. Kelly. I am tired of writing about R. Kelly. But in my line of work, there are instances where I'm going to have to write about stuff that I am absolutely god darn tired of writing about, because I feel like it's my job to give you all information. Because even when there's a story I don't care about or a story that you don't care about, there is someone who reads my site every day who will care about that story, and they expect me to give them that information. So that's why I try to, in a very nice way, kind of tell people, and they like, oh, I'm so tired of reading. Y'all ain't got nothing else to write about. So I try to tell you in a very nice way, if you're not interested, then just keep it damn pushing. Like, stop wasting my time telling me what you don't want to hear and what you're tired of. Because trust and believe, I'm back here sick and tired too. But I have a job to deliver this information, because even though I may not care, someone does. So that's why I'm still covering this R. Kelly stuff. At the same time, whether or not I'm tired of hearing about R. Kelly, whether or not I'm tired of writing about R. Kelly, he got to get dealt with. How he ends up getting dealt with, I'm going to leave that to the police or one of them girls' daddies. But he got to get dealt with. I mean, anybody, and that goes for R. Kelly, your play cousin, Shonda's brother, anybody who is out here living foul, got to get dealt with. And, they may not get dealt with here on earth, but they'll get dealt with in the afterlife. But either way, they have to answer to everything that they've done. Point blank, period. But I'm not the judge and jury. I know where I stand on it. I know how I feel about it. And you have every right to stand where you want to stand on it and feel how you want to feel about it. And then we can amicably, I can't even say that damn word, amicably, fuck it. We can agree to disagree. How about that? That's what we're going to do. So with that being said, let's move on to this Chris Brown situation, because speaking of accusations, Chris Brown was just accused of raping some girl in a hotel in Paris. Now, allegedly, this 24-year-old girl went to police 2 days after she claimed Chris Brown raped her in his hotel room in Paris. And she filed a police report. And Chris Brown and 2 members of his crew were detained in Paris, which is basically arrested and you may not make it back to America type of situations. But he was detained and arrested. He was processed. He was booked in a whole 9. So then another young lady who apparently people thought was the accuser, she went to social media, and she goes by the name of Kim Ford. She went to social media and she was like, I am not Chris Brown's accuser. She was like, I was there. Nothing happened, and so I'm like, okay. So I posted it and kind of advised Miss Kim Ford, boo, tell the police. Telling us on social media, what's that's going to do? You might want to give that information to the police. So hours later, Chris Brown was released in Paris and there were no charges filed against him, luckily for Chris, because there are some people who actually get jammed up and it's just their word against the young lady. And, yesterday on the ICC Facebook page, which has really been having a lot of traction. If you are on Facebook, you definitely want to follow our Facebook page because my ICC friends go in and have on the Facebook page. Instagram, not so much, but Facebook is where it's at. But yesterday I just wrote, I said, look, rapists need to be prosecuted and women who file false reports need to be prosecuted as well. Because, you can ruin someone's entire livelihood, their reputation, everything that they have going for them with a false accusation. And then you just wash your hands and go on about your business. Nah, boo-boo. If a man or a woman files a false report against someone, and if they're found to have filed a false report, I feel like they should serve the time that person would have got if they had actually committed the crime. I mean, say amen if you feel me on that, because that's where I am with it. That'll cut out all them false accusations. Think about all those young black men who have lost their college scholarships. They were on their way to school because some little girl who daddy didn't like the fact that she was kicking it with this black boy with dreads in his hair or anything. And then they go file these police reports, and then this young man's whole life is snatched from him, and he has to fight to exonerate himself, and he lost everything that was lined up for him in his future. We've seen it happen time and time again. So cut all that bullshit out by start giving listen, you got to serve this time, boo-boo. If Chris Brown had really raped you, he would have got 5 to 10. So since you filed this false report, now you're going to get this hot 5 to 10. And that'll teach you to not file false reports, because things like that only make it harder for real victims to get real justice. It is so sad that the moment a woman comes out, a woman who has really been sexually assaulted, who has really been, raped or anything of that nature, and then when they come out, the first thing that they are met with, she lying, she capping, she clout chasing. Where do we got to draw the line somewhere. And then you wonder why people take 10, 12, 15, 20, 35, 45, 65 years just to come out and tell that they've been assaulted or that they've been, raped or they've been sexually abused, molested, drugged, all that. You wonder why people sit on that for years, because, nothing tops an assault like being accused of lying on top of it, or getting your name dragged through the mud, or having your reputation or having your credibility or your character shredded in the streets of social media just to discount what you're saying happened to you. And so, we just got to be a little more better with that. I just feel like we got to be better with that. And hopefully that you guys agree, and hopefully we will see a change in that. I mean, we have the Me Too movement and things like that going on that really empower women who have been assaulted. But I don't need y'all, I'm mad because he ain't text me back or he missed his child support payments, to hop in the mix and then and taint the pot. That's not what we're trying to do. And that's not what it's about. And that's not what it's for. So good for Chris Brown. I do know that he is planning to file legal action and file a defamation lawsuit against the woman who accused him of raping her, as he should. But I would also seek prosecution. But that's just me. So Wendy Williams. Oh, Wendy. It's funny because Wendy Williams has built a career on celebrity news, entertainment, gossip, mainly gossip, and, mixed in with the celebrity news and entertainment part of it. But it's crazy. Like, even me, when I come on and I write these celebrity scoop and the celebrity stories and entertainment stories, and sometimes I sit and think to myself, like, yo, what if I woke up one morning and something that happened to me was like the talk of the day, or some mess I done got jammed up in, or some dumb decision I made, or something that happened in my personal life, or something me and my husband went through. Somebody done told it, or grabbed some screenshots, or got video of it and put it on the internet. And now not only do I have to deal with it in my home, now I have to deal with it in the streets of social media. I sometimes wonder about that. And like, how would I handle that? And because of that, I try to handle my stories, my website, my reporting with the same type of respect that I would like to receive, in the event that I was the one being written about, if that makes sense. So, with Wendy, Wendy has been merciless throughout the years. She's toned down quite a bit until she got, once she got her show, her daytime talk show. But she still be going in, like having graphs of pictures, setting up celebrity pyramids of people, baby mamas and all kind of stuff like that. But now Wendy is in the hot seat because rumors have circulated and surfaced again about her husband, Kevin Hunter, and his alleged mistress, and something about a baby, and something about him allegedly having a baby on the way with the mistress, and depending on who you ask, it's the first baby, or some people say it's the second baby. But either way, that story came out. Then she pops up on the show with this fractured shoulder. Now, I am not, I don't even want to do this, but, when I do my podcast and I do my live chats, I'm going to say to you what I may not necessarily write on my website. My very first thought when I saw Wendy with her arm in that sling was that Kevin put hands on her. I'm not going to lie to kick it. I promise y'all, and I hate that was my first thought, but that was my first thought. My first thought was Kevin put hands on her. But then she said something about she fell in the house and she had this fracture on her shoulder, or hairline fracture or something or other. Her arm was in a sling. She was still doing the show. So then I said, well, maybe she could have fell, because at least once a week I hit my goddarn foot on the side of my bed frame. I got one of those low bed frames or whatever with the wood at the bottom. At least once a week I tear my foot up on that thing. So I'm like, well, I know this is here. This is how I get in the bed every night. If I can tear my foot up on the side of this bed every single night, once a week at least, then she's capable of falling down in her house. And she's a little older, so she's going to be a little more fragile. So I can see her actually falling down on some type of freak accident, perhaps, and hurting herself. But my first instinct and my womanly instinctions, I don't know if that makes sense, but I was like, Kevin must have put hands on her. She must have heard about this baby, alleged baby, ran up on Kevin, and he put the paws on her. Now, I'm saying that was my first thought. I'm not saying that is to be true. That was just my first assumption. So then, next thing you know, she comes on the show the next day. So she pushing through. I'm like, okay, Wendy pushed through. Wendy Williams pushed through. And then the next day she comes on and she's slurring her words. Now, I tend to slur my words sometimes. See, Exhibit A just happened just now. I tend to slur my words sometimes, but it's only because I talk really, really fast sometimes, especially when my thoughts get a little bit ahead of me. And then my mouth fills up with spit, and I don't want to sound like my mouth is filled up with spit, and then I end up talking weird. Okay, that's my fault. That's my situation. But Wendy went to social media, posted this message about how she's on medication. She apologizes for slurring her words, so on and so forth. Now, shout out to B. Scott, because B. Scott was on Wendy's neck. He was on top of everything because, he got his little insider tips and scoops and people who bring him the little insider tea. And Wendy uses a lot of his stories on her hot topics. So I'm like, well, if she used his stories on hot topics, then he got every right to spill the tea that he knows about her too. Long story short, she sends him a cease and desist because he had all the tea on the baby, and that Wendy allegedly has health problems and her staff is concerned, and that she was allegedly in the room arguing with an imaginary person one time. And it was just a whole bunch of different things that started unraveling when it came to Wendy. And apparently people in her camp, and they standing there, but they not really in her camp. If you feel me. Figure me. Like, you can have people in your circle who are standing there, but they're not necessarily in your circle. They are there to gather information and disperse. Gather and disperse. So somebody in her camp is talking way too much. But that's her problem to deal with, not mine. That's why my circle is as big as a Cheerio. If anything comes out of my camp, then you got to know it must be true, because my circle is small enough for me to put an earring through it and it hold the earring on the back of my ear. But anyway, so stories started coming out. Wendy sends B. Scott a cease and desist. But B. Scott ain't no punk, and his heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. He kept it pushing. So then next thing you know, okay, so now we hear that Wendy is dealing with some health issues. Her marriage is in shambles. We still ain't figured out how this shoulder got broke. And then she's supposed to return, right? Over the holidays, she takes a hiatus. Supposed to return in January. So we're like, oh, it's time for Wendy. They always clap off beat. That clap or whatever. Okay. She releases a statement on her Instagram. Okay, well, I'm not going to be back this week because I want to be 100%. I'm coming back with these hot topics. I'm about to do this. Okay, so my arm still ain't 100%. I want to be 100%. 200%. When I come back and give you all these hot topics we done collected over the Christmas break because your favorite celebrity's been wilding. I've been taking a tally, keeping notes, making a list, checking it twice. I'm going to tell y'all who been naughty or nice when we come back in 2019. Bet. All right, Wendy, because all we want to know is what you got to say about Kevin and this here alleged little baby on the side. That's all we waiting on, Wendy. So we'll be here. We'll have our popcorn. We'll have our drinks. We ain't going to have no shoes or nothing, Jesus. We're going to be here waiting on you to bring us this tea, the personal tea. Well, it was time for her to come back. We get another. We like, oh, it's time for Wendy to come back. Nope. We get another statement. Well, she's not going to come back on the 14th. She's going to come back on the 21st. But in the meantime, we're going to have some other people come in, kind of do roundtable discussions. We like, oh, word. Okay, cool. So we're going to wait till the 21st. Y'all, the 21st ain't even get round the corner good. And we like, oh, Wendy. She about to give us this tea on the baby. Another statement drop. This statement is a little more serious. This statement basically says that Wendy is taking an extended break because not only is her shoulder still not 100%, now her Graves' disease has started acting up and she needs to be under the care of a physician, a doctor. Lord, what is wrong? Let me take a sip of water because the way my mouth is doing today. All right, let's try that again. So she's under the care of a physician and she is going to be hospitalized for an extended period of time in order for them to get her health back on track. And she's also going to take an extended break to focus on her personal and mental health. So I was like, hold up. Wait a minute. Sis, way worse off than I thought. Because see, Wendy she's never appeared to be the type of person who would run from a story or run from, Wendy been shaded and dragged through the social media and through the streets and the internet more than once. She ain't new to this. She done been to this rodeo and rode the horse a couple times. But I'm thinking something got to be really, 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 really wrong. Because number one, let's start with the shoulder. Even if the shoulder is not healing properly, if the shoulder is still bothering her, that's an issue in itself. Wendy does have Graves' disease. We know that. If she is under high levels of stress, whether she's actually letting the internet get to her or whatever she's dealing with Kevin or whatever she's dealing with Kevin and Kevin's other lover, alleged lover, or other baby, alleged baby, stress will break down your immune system to shambles. And if she's under a lot of stress and her immune system done broke down, and then on top of the Graves' disease, and then on top of her fractured shoulder, child, Wendy is a mess. She probably don't even have a good wig on right now. Sis probably she don't have a good wig on right now. She just walking around with a stocking cap on. And so while some people were like, that's what she get, karma's a bitch, and this and the third, like, yo, I don't wish that type of stress on nobody, because I done been through that type of stress. And it wasn't because my marriage or my husband or, he got somebody on the side, none of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, like, personal stress, depression, like wanting to be successful and you try something or a vendor you're working with run off with $9,000, which was a true story. Like, I done been through some stuff. So I know what it is to go through something privately, but I can't imagine going through all the dumb stuff that I done been through publicly. So with that being said, I know people have a lot of different feelings when it comes to Wendy Williams. At the end of the day, I'm going to tap into the human part of me that taps into the human part of her, and to tap into the womanly part of her that knows she going through something terrible over there. I don't know what it is, but y'all gonna talk about that woman, and then next thing you know, we catch a hot R.I.P. Wendy, then everybody gonna be like, oh my God. Oh, like, so, if you don't like the way she carry herself, if you don't like the things that she do, just pray for Jesus to fix her. Like, Lord, fix her, because she ain't moving right. Now, I'm not going to act like Karma ain't alive and well. Karma is alive and well. That's why I'm trying to do the right thing out here in these streets. But, I'm not going to kick the woman while she down. And so I'm just going to stand back, just let y'all know what's going on for her. I just said, Lord, whatever she going through, help her out. That was my prayer. I ain't digging into, ooh, Lord, let me see if the baby look like Kevin. Ooh, Lord, let me see hopefully somebody snap a picture of her in the hospital to prove she really in there. That's none of my business. All I said was, Lord, help her out. Whatever help she need, Lord, just go on and give it to her. Because some nights, that's all I can pray. It's like, God, help me out. Help me, Lord, help me. So, it's a crazy, sad, and interesting situation. And I'm just curious to see how long she's going to be out. I just really would like for her to get her mind, body, and soul together. And if her mind, body, and soul leads her to be a single woman with a really popular daytime talk show, then hey, just ask the Lord to lead you, Wendelina. Just ask him to lead you. Real quick, Alicia Keys is hosting the Grammys, which I think is cool. The Oscars does not have a host at all. And just shout out to, all my faves that are nominated for Oscars. Like Black Panther came through with the 7 nods. Spike Lee came through with the Best Director nod. Regina King. Lord, let me tell you something. Regina King. See, at one point in time, I was moving through these streets with one Black Nubian queen, and that was Viola Davis. Like, Viola Davis is my Black Nubian queen. Okay? It is what it is. But I'm going to have to make room on the throne for Regina King, because Regina King is just Black excellence. Like, Regina King is just everything. Who would have thought Brenda Jenkins? And yes, I'm making my hand open and close as I say the syllables. Who would have thought Brenda Jenkins would turn into the magnificent Regina King that we have today? Like, come on, push through. Where Calvin? See, if Calvin had stuck with that Queen Brenda, where would Calvin Hobbs be right now? That's all I'm saying. Because I had to do a Where Are They Now Wednesday on Calvin Hobbs. Visit icecreamconvos.com, put in Calvin Hobbs, or put in Where Are They Now Wednesday, get the scoop on what he been up to. But with that being said, just shout out to all of my favorites. Shout out to Lady Gaga. A Star Is Born probably was one of my most favorite films of 2018, alongside Black Panther, alongside Avengers, of course, and some other great movies that I really loved. But Lady Gaga did her thing in A Star Is Born. I actually saw A Star Is Born twice in 1 week. Went and paid both times, both with an F. I love that film. Bradley Cooper did his thing too. So I had my fingers crossed for them. Regina King, Spike Lee, Black Panther, all Mahershala Ali, his chocolatey. Okay, God is good. So shout out to everyone who was nominated for an Oscar. Shout out to Sam Elliott, who said it's about time I got nominated for an Oscar. Okay, Sam, let him know, Sam. And a funny story, Sam Elliott, if you saw A Star Is Born, then or anything else, if you've been around watching movies, you know Sam Elliott. But he was most recently in A Star Is Born. He played Bradley Cooper's brother. But Sam Elliott is Regina King's celebrity crush. Google Sam Elliott and then holler back at your girl. It's very interesting. Okay, so I want to finish out the podcast by talking about this story that has polarized social media and had my spirit in shambles. a Facebook Live video surfaced. Well, it didn't surface. It was posted on Facebook Live. A young lady named Jasmine Eiland went out to an Atlanta nightclub. She went out to Club Opera over the weekend to celebrate her birthday. I log on to social media, and just a little backstory. A lot of times I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is wake up in the morning. Thank you, Lord, for waking me up today. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord, get through the day. And then I will check my email. I will peruse through social media, and then I will check the comments to see if any of my ICC friends said anything to me, or, because sometimes some of y'all will be like, Zavi, excuse me, over here, I got a question or anything of that nature. So I'm scrolling through social media and I see where someone was like, I'm devastated by the Jasmine Eiland story. So I'm like, oh my God, we got another hashtag. Like, I'm thinking, and that's terrible. My first thought was, the police done killed somebody. And so I'm like, Lord, not another hashtag. So I started digging. Who's Jasmine Eiland? What happened to Jasmine Eiland? And y'all, I was not ready. I really, really was not ready. Okay, so basically, Jasmine Eiland went to this nightclub in Atlanta, out partying, having a good time, dancing, partying. She's on Facebook Live the whole time, partying and dancing and rapping along to her favorite songs and drinking and dancing with this dude. And the part of the video I saw, she was dancing with this gentleman. He was of a dark complexion, black skull cap, black shirt, beard, gold chains. I'm just trying to give you a visual if you haven't seen the video. He kind of looks like someone, but I just can't pinpoint who it is. But he kind of looks like someone I may have seen like on The Wire or something like that. But so anyway, they're dancing together. He's playing her real close all night. Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, back in my clubbing days, you get in the club and you having a good time. You end up finding a club boo and y'all end up dancing and kicking it the rest of the night. Maybe just, exchange phone numbers depending on how fast some of y'all is. Maybe y'all will call it a night together. But, it's not uncommon to have a little club boo. You meet somebody in the club and dance with them all night. So I saw nothing strange with that. But then as the video went along, she was drinking. And then I saw another clip. Now, mind you, I'm not seeing all of this all put together because I'm searching. I'm searching. So I see one clip of them dancing and this and other and kicking it and so on and so forth. And then it ends. Now, that video is the video I saw on Jasmine's page, on her Facebook page. I went directly to the source. I don't like dealing with third parties and things like that because a lot of times people alter stuff. People zoom in, people zoom out, people do. I just like to deal directly with the source. So that was a video posted on her page. Well, as I was reading the comments on her page, I saw another video on her page. And the video showed her where she appeared to look completely incapacitated to the point where she was barely able to stand. She was still trying to jam. She was still trying to dance and rap along to the songs, but now she's slurring. She's look like she's nodding off at certain points. Her head is falling back on the dude. Same dude, still there, same position, standing behind her. Her head is kind of falling back on the dude. And then at some point, it looks as if he is sexually assaulting her on the dance floor. And Jasmine, she lets out this scream. It's I don't know, it's a weird scream, as if he's penetrating her. And she wasn't expecting that to happen. When something catch you off guard, you'd be like, oh, something to that nature, right? And then she's leaning forward, she's falling forward, and she's basically saying no. She's asking for someone to please help her. And she's repeatedly saying help me, somebody please help me. And she's saying stop. And it was one of those things where she was trying to yell, but the yell wouldn't come out. And now keep in mind, the music is blaring. They're in the middle of a nightclub. It looks as if the top of her dress is down. It looks as if her breasts are partially or fully exposed. I really couldn't tell. And it looks like I felt like I witnessed a sexual assault. That's how I'm going to present it to you. I felt like I witnessed a sexual assault when I saw the video. What bothered me was there were people standing around videotaping, well, with phones in their hands. So I'm only left to assume they were videotaping because no one was busting a move, trying to break up whatever was going on the dance floor between Jasmine and this man. It just looked like people were standing around filming. At one point during Jasmine, like leaning forward, because mind you, she's still on live. And some people were like, well, I'll get into that in a minute. So she's still on live. And so, you know, the phone, of course, is going all over the place. It's Blair Witch Project-y. It's all over the place, up and down, all that. And it makes it back to her. And she's like talking into the phone, like literally asking somebody in the phone, like, please help her. And then it looks like I saw a woman put her hand on Jasmine's shoulder in the middle of all of this, which was hella confusing to me. But I was just like, okay, what the hell? Even with that being said, and then the video, that clip ends. So now I'm like in tears and trying to wrap my mind around what I just saw. So I dig some more, and I'm digging more. And so as I'm digging more, then Opera releases a statement saying that they're aware of an incident that happened at their club and they're cooperating with the police. The Atlanta Police Department released a statement saying that they've been made aware of a viral video that allegedly shows a sexual assault, that they have contacted the victim, and they are, you know, they've opened an investigation. The Special Victims Unit has opened an investigation. And so then now I'm seeing pictures of someone passing Jasmine a drink, which appeared to have a pill in it. And someone circled, you know, the area that appeared to show a pill. And based off of my two eyes and my less than 20/20 vision, it did look like there was a pill inside the cup. Then I saw another video of Jasmine taking a drink. I don't know if that was the same cup or not. Full disclosure, because I'm telling you, I'm getting all of this stuff in pieces and parts, and I'm trying to piece it together to make it make sense, right? So I saw another clip of Jasmine drinking out of a cup, and then she pulls the cup away from her mouth, and she like touches her tongue, like as if she felt like something weird was in the drink. So I saw that clip as well. Then another clip began floating around of Jasmine being in some type of twerk contest or something or other. So I guess her and her friends were in a twerk contest. And she was in a twerk contest, and sis was busting it down. She didn't appear to have on any underwear. But nowadays, probably 50% of the women in the club don't got on no drawers. I can't free ball like that. Well, I don't have balls, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Like, I can't, it's just not in me to be pantyless. I don't know. I'm just a panty person. Okay. But a lot of women go to the club and they don't wear panties because whatever they, you know, their club outfit that they have on may not, I don't know. Y'all have to talk to them about that. But I know that a lot of women don't wear panties to the club. So I'm not trying to tear her down or tear apart her character or reputation or whatever because she didn't have panties on. Being in a twerk contest with no panties, ooh girl, but you know, to each his or her own. So I see the twerk video and I'm like, okay. And then some people are like, well, you know, how was she sexually assaulted? And she was in a twerk contest. And I'm like, huh? Like, what does being in a twerk contest have to do with being sexually assaulted? So some of the comments were very, very, my faith in humanity was back on the line, because a lot of people, I saw a lot of things that felt like it was victim blaming and shaming, and, you know, people were calling her out her name. People were saying she was a thought, and people were saying this and saying that and saying other. All I know is I felt like I saw a video of a woman being sexually assaulted. I don't care what she did before. All of that. I don't care what she had on. I don't care what she didn't have on. I feel like I saw, and I keep saying I feel like I saw a video of a young woman being sexually assaulted. Okay. Fast forward. After the video came out, then there were reports coming out saying that Jasmine was missing. People couldn't find her. So I found her Facebook page and I saw where she said, I'm all right. And then she said, you know, please don't call her or text her. She's trying to digest everything that happened. Then she went live, and then on her Facebook Live, she just basically, she didn't address happened to her in the club, or I'm going to say allegedly happened to her just because I've been trained and taught to say allegedly. Okay. So, she didn't address what allegedly happened to her in the club, but she did say that she took a picture with a gentleman earlier in the night, and that is not the gentleman who allegedly assaulted her. Sorry, y'all, I'm moving a chair. Hopefully you can't hear me moving this chair. So she said that is not the guy who allegedly assaulted her. I guess, social media sleuths jumped on the case and they were trying to find this guy. Now, the guy that she was dancing with all night, her club, I'm going to call her the club boo, for lack of a better term. The guy that was playing her close all night, you could see him clear as day. So it wasn't going to be hard to identify this gentleman. And I say gentleman, well, this man. I'm not going to call him a gentleman. I'm going to say man. It wasn't hard to identify this man at all. Like, the only thing he didn't do was take a selfie. You could see him clear as day. You could see his face clear as day. And so it did not take long before Gossip in the City, Fee over at Gossip in the City, sis straight tracked homeboy down. Found out that he is a man by the name of Dominique Williams. And once she tracked him down, he immediately started deleting and shutting down all of his social media accounts. And maybe a couple hours later on in the day, she actually, I don't know how she finessed it or worked it out, but she got a telephone conversation with Dominique. According to Dominique's version of the story is that he met this girl at the club. She was celebrating her birthday. She was going through something with her husband or something or other. And he was like, turn up. They was having a good time. And then out of nowhere, she started falling all over the floor and acting drunk. And she fell on the floor. He picked her up, sat her down on a bench. She wanted to jump back up and keep dancing. And basically, long story short, he claims that the video that we saw, many of us saw, the video that I saw that I felt like was a sexual assault. Dominique says the video that I saw was her falling down on the floor, acting drunk and acting drunk and incapacitated. And the video I saw was him trying to pick her up off of the floor. He said that at no time did he penetrate her. He said at no time did he sexually assault her. He said that he is a father of 2. He has custody of his son. All he was trying to do was help this girl. And now he is put out in the street. He is all over social media. And he is being depicted as a rapist who drugged her and raped her. And he said that he doesn't understand why she isn't speaking out to shut it down or tell the truth. Then he also said that she went to the hospital and had a rape kit done. And it confirmed that she was not raped. My follow-up question would have been, why did she feel it was necessary to go to the hospital and get a rape kit if nothing happened to her? But Fee did a great job interviewing him, so I'm not taking nothing from Fee. That just would have been a question that I would have liked to have had the opportunity to ask him. Then why did she go, get a rape kit if she felt like nothing happened to her? He went on to say that the video that I mentioned earlier about her being in a twerk contest, he goes on to say that after the video that I saw of her, where I feel like I saw her being sexually assaulted, he is now saying that the twerk contest was after the video of her allegedly being sexually assaulted. I'm all kinds of damn confused. And I'm not going to lie. I am all kind of damn confused. Like, I need someone to validate timestamps. I need someone to validate chronological order. All I know is what I saw of Jasmine asking for help, saying no, saying stop, broke my heart. And so there's another narrative out there that claims Jasmine faked the whole scene, the whole thing just to get back at her husband. And that bothers me. It's bad enough that a video of a woman being sexually assaulted could possibly, a video of a woman possibly being sexually assaulted. Let me say it the right way, because I know some of y'all will grab what I'm saying, catch some audio, and then cancel me like Christmas. What I'm trying to say is, it bothers me that a video that shows a woman possibly being sexually assaulted is floating around, period. That's first things first. That bothers me because every time the video is shared, every time someone watches it, every time someone shares it, like, see, look, it's almost like it's humiliating her all over again. Because now I'm just trying to think, like, in Jasmine's shoes, how she would feel having something like that happen to her, and then the whole world, the whole internet sees it, and everyone is sharing it, and people are posting it on YouTube and monetizing their YouTube pages off of it, getting hits and getting paid off of it until YouTube catches it and shuts it down. So that bothers me in itself. And then some of the comments, people calling her out her name, people saying she's lying, people saying she's capping, people saying she's faking and frauding. And, my prayer is that. My prayer is that the truth comes out. Whatever the truth is, I pray that the truth comes out, and everyone, and I'm saying everyone who did wrong pays for what they've done, and that they are punished. That's the best summation I can give you for that, because it just bothers my spirit. Like, I saw one video of her own husband saying crazy stuff about her, about Jasmine, saying she faking and she this and she's that. And then the next breath, he's like, oh, I was just mad. I was lashing out. My wife was raped and blah, blah, blah. And the police know who he is, and so on and so forth. And it's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot for all parties involved. It's a lot. And, so at the end of the day, my prayer is that the truth comes out. If Jasmine was assaulted in that club, and I'm saying if, but I know what I believe personally. If Jasmine was assaulted in that club, everybody who filmed, stood by, didn't do anything, and the man who assaulted her needs to pay for it. If by some chance on God's green earth, I didn't see what I thought I saw on that tape, and all of this is some outlandish, unfathomable, I can't even say unfathomable. There it is. Some unfathomable smokescreen. Everybody involved who has done wrong needs to be punished. Point blank, period. I will say this. The internet is a very, very, very dark place, but the internet is a very, very, very good place at the same time. Because the internet, I'm talking out of both sides of my neck. I guess it's almost like that. You got to take the good. You got to take the good to take the bad. You take them both, and there you have the internet, or the facts of life. It just depends on what year you were born. But with that being said, it's like, I've seen people who've committed crimes get caught straight off the work of my good internet friends, and then at the same time, I've seen people get canceled, humiliated, and just destroyed on the internet. So that's what I'm saying as far as like the good and the bad of the internet. This story is still one of the biggest stories on my site, on icecreamconvos.com. Because people are really, and it's not because people are fascinated with someone being sexually assaulted. People want answers. People want to know the truth. People are trying to get down to the bottom of this. And I really hope the police do their due diligence and really making sure justice is served in this case. And whatever that justice is, we're just going to have to wait on the outcome of that. But it's just mind-blowing to really think that someone could be sexually assaulted in the middle of a dance club and no one either notices, cares, or pays attention. And so I talked to my daughter. My daughter is 24 years old. And I talked to her and I said, if you were in a club and you saw this, what would you do? And I showed her some, I didn't show her the actual assault, but I showed her a video that took place prior to it. And she said, you know what, Mom? She was like, and now this has nothing to do with Jasmine. This is just me asking my daughter, about the club scene. She said, Mom, she was like, girls and dudes be wilding so bad in the club. She was like, it would be hard to tell if someone was actually just being nasty on the dance floor or if someone was being assaulted on the dance floor. And that hurt my spirit because I really had to sit in that and think about that. And I was like, in my club days, back when I used to be busting it down at Club Kaya in Atlanta, that's where I actually met my husband. Shout out to Club Kaya. I remember seeing dudes, like girls bent over and dudes like straight, like got them by the waist and be straight banging into they behinds as if they're having sex. And, if I don't see the girl's face, or if I don't hear her screaming no, or if I don't hear her saying please stop, I'm just like, yo, they wildin' in this club. I've seen dudes get head in the club. I've seen girls get fingered in the club. I've seen girls jerking dudes off. And like, you see all kinds of stuff in the club. So I had to check myself, like because the music was so loud, people weren't capable of hearing Jasmine say help or stop because that music was bumping. It was loud in there. And so I thought to myself, if I were in that club and I saw that, would I think, ooh, child, she is they in here wildin', or would something in my spirit had told me like something ain't right with this and I need to do something about it? So I think that's a question that we all have to ask ourselves, and maybe just everybody just chill a little bit in the club, because now it's to the point where you can't tell if someone is being assaulted or if someone is just taking their club into the next level. So maybe everybody just needs to kind of scale it back a little bit, if that makes sense. I know this is going to fall on real deaf ears. Some of y'all probably rolling your eyes at me right now, but I'm just trying to think to myself, and my best friend, her husband is Jamaican, and, we saw videos and I'm like, is his thing out? Or like, are they actually having sex or are they just dancing? And because the dance floor can get pretty graphic, and it's because of this type of culture that people are desensitized to a situation where a young lady like Jasmine could actually get sexually assaulted in the middle of the dance floor. And people videotape. Okay, let me take it back. I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, and I moved to Atlanta right before they like put the nail in the Freaknik coffin. And I remember going to Freaknik with one of my girlfriends, and we did the cruising thing. Like, I ain't really want to get out the car because I had heard about how Freaknik could get, but I just wanted to go see Freaknik for myself. And we were at the mall. We were at South DeKalb Mall, and we were in the parking lot. And so we were just like kind of, cruising around, and then we just parked and kind of sat on the back of the car, and people were just congregating around and talking and kicking and stuff. And I remember this one girl, she was a pretty girl too. I don't know if someone asked, made a request or whatever, but at some point in time, she decided that she was going to take her shorts off and her panties off and just bust her private right open on the back of a pickup truck in the South DeKalb parking lot. So when she did that, I clutched my imaginary pearls and was like, dear Heavenly Father, little black baby Jesus in the manger, because the inn was full. What is going on over in front of the Macy's parking lot? So as soon as she did it, all you saw was like a whole herd of dudes take off running. That's when they had the handheld camcorders, because cell phone video really wasn't popping back then. Dudes would still walk around with the handheld camcorders. Those dudes flocked around that girl, like literally swarmed around her. So then you had one dude who was like, I guess, facilitating the incident, right? So he's like, hey, back up, give her room so everybody can see. Back up. Everybody can't see. So she is on the back of this pickup truck, because mind you, where we were parked and sitting on the back of the car, apparently other people probably should have parked and just sat on the back of the car if they were trying to see. We could see everything. So the dude's like backing the crowd up, he's facilitating, and he's telling everybody to back up. She's busting it wide open, playing with herself, all kind of stuff. Dudes are videotaping. But the thing was, she had this smile on her face, or like, you know, like that nervous giggle where it's like you made a decision, but you realize like seconds into that decision that you effed up. But I don't know if she just felt like she couldn't, like she went too far to go back, or she went too far to pull out of the situation. I don't know. But she was there. She was looking like, I made a very poor decision, but I'm going to go ahead and see this thing through. At some point, y'all, her hands turned into random hands. She ended up on the back of that truck, and after a while, I was like, yo, we got to go. Random dudes just started sticking however many fingers they could, whatever, into this girl. And I felt so sad. And I was like, I can't believe like this is happening and people are videotaping. And it was just, I think that's the moment I realized how really real it can get with men. It was almost like a shark smelling blood in the water. And so I just need all of my young ladies to just be super, super, super careful when going out. Don't leave your drinks down. Like, don't. Nowadays, you know, back in the day, you can go to the club and let a gentleman buy you a drink. Don't do that no more. Like, don't even let dudes buy you a drink. If you don't have no drink money, sip on some cute water all night. Act like it's some vodka. But, like, we got to step up. As women, we got to step up our security game. Like, we have to look out for each other. We got to look out for ourselves. We got to just look out for everything, because even in that day, I still walked away. I know there is no way on God's green earth I could have got about 50 dudes away from that girl in that South DeKalb parking lot. But I still walked away feeling like I let her down. I walked away feeling like I let her down. And my friend felt like she let herself down. But I felt like I let her, like I felt like I should have did something, or maybe went over like, y'all leave my cousin alone. Girl, come on. Like, I just felt like I let her down. And so from that moment, I was like, yo, I can't let women down if I see a situation that I can help. So that's why I guess this Jasmine Eiland story bothers me so much, because I think to myself, if I saw that in the club, would I have recognized and known that was a sexual assault versus some people doing the most on the dance floor? Because because of the music, I wouldn't have been able to hear her say, stop, help, whatever. Let me tell y'all this real quick story, and then I'm going to go ahead and go, because I feel like I'm rambling, but I appreciate you for still listening. Years ago, I went to the club with my good friend, Ron, and I am a lightweight in the club. So my first drink, I'm like, cool. My second drink, I could be either cool or, Lord, pull the car around and let's take her home. Well, apparently my second drink, it just depends on the bartender. My second drink was, Lord, pull the car around, we need to take her home. I remember at the bar, and because I always stay near the bar when I drink my drink, because I'm not putting it down. I'm not asking nobody to hold it. I stay next to the bar, finish my drink, put it there, boom, I'm gone. I don't loiter in the club. I don't loiter in the club. Well, litter, not loiter. I don't litter. Loiter is standing around. I definitely loiter in the club. I don't litter in the club. Anyway, so I'm standing there, and I'm drinking my drink, and this dude comes up, starts talking. He was real cute too. He comes up, he starts talking, very, very friendly, very nice. We kicking it, this, that, and the third. He asked me who I'm at the club with. I'm like, yeah, I'm here with my boy Ron. And Ron is maybe homegirls start going to the club with dudes, because Ron was my club buddy. And he never was more than 5 feet away from me. Maybe 10 if he was trying to give me some time to kick it with somebody. But never never in a situation where he can't get to me in 3.4 split seconds. And so I told the dude, I was like, yeah, I'm here with my boy Ron. And I pointed out Ron. And he was like, oh, okay. So we talking. Well, I guess as we were continuing to talk, he was seeing that I was inebriated. This dude was like, yo, I'll be right back. I'm going to go use the bathroom. And I was like, okay, I'm just finishing my drink. So he slipped away from me and went to Ron and told Ron that I said that I'm good. He can go ahead and go. What? So His plan completely foiled because when he went over to Ron and told Ron, Shorty said you can go, Shouty said you can go ahead and go. I'm gonna take her home. Ron told that dude, because Ron a little ignorant. Ron was like, you tell that hoe she came to the club with me and she leaving with me. And so Ron comes over, stomping over to me, grabs me by my arm and makes me leave the club. Now I'm wondering why Ron tripping. Dude looking stupid as all get out. Ron basically grabs me by my arm and drags me out the club because now he 58 hot with me because he thinks that I was literally trying to leave a club with a random dude. We get in the car and he tells me that this dude told him that I said to leave. What if Ron wasn't like a G like that? What if Ron was like, oh, okay, just tell her to call me tomorrow. Y'all, I don't know what would it... Y'all probably wouldn't even hear, y'all wouldn't be listening to this podcast right now. Ain't no telling what would have happened to me in these ATL streets. So the whole point of what I'm saying in this ramble is, if you're going to go out and party responsibly. Up your security. Have a powwow with your friends ahead of time. Have a game plan. Listen here, Linda. We're going to this, that, and the third. Even if you start talking to a dude, you need to stay within arm's reach. But it's a different day and age out here. It is a different day and age out here. And the saddest part of all of this, Jasmine ain't the only Jasmine that been Jasmined in a club. She's not the only one. She won't be the last. She wasn't the first and she won't be the last. But what we can do is try to be more diligent in, just trying to protect ourselves. And these men, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to stop. Just do better. Do better. Treat women the way you want somebody to treat your mama or your daughter. Do better. Because it's, I say, and I keep speaking to women because I'm a woman. So naturally, I'm going to want to say, look, my girls, you need to look out for yourself. But these dudes ain't off the hook. Y'all got to do god darn better, man. Do better. Love women more than that. Have more respect than that. If you see a chick out here doing too much or exposing herself or not respecting herself, rather than grabbing your camcorder or trying to get your fingers wet, tell her sis, come on, man, sis, come on, girl, pull your dress down, girl, tuck your titty in, what you doing, sis? Come on now, you too fly for that. You a queen. Instead, y'all be like, oh, it's on now. No, we gotta do better. We have to do better. So I'm just sending up prayers for Jasmine and anyone else who has been assaulted or has been through anything even remotely close or similar in nature to something like this. But I will keep you guys updated on this. I'm not going to chase every Tom, Dick, and Hank or every false lead and story out there. I'm not going to tell you what somebody's sister, brother, cousin said. I'm not passing text messages that could have been altered along. I'm staying on task with this because we ain't even out of January yet. It's 2019. We ain't even out of January yet. And prayers to everybody going through the government shutdown. Listen, I be struggling and let alone not getting a paycheck. Just prayers up to everyone and help if you know someone who is a government worker and they're going through the shutdown. Help them the best way you can. Help them in any way that you can. Help each other. We got to help each other get through this until we get this clown up out of office. All right. And shout out to Kamala. All right, girl. Is it Kamala? Kamala? Child. My name's Xaviera and I got the nerve to try to mess up somebody else's name. But shout out to Kamala Harris, who announced she is planning to run for president. So we're going to see how this goes. All right. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to the ICC podcast. Again, this is our first podcast of 2019. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to the ICC podcast wherever you listen. Be sure to subscribe to the Ice Cream Convos YouTube page. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter. We are Ice Cream Convos everywhere. Feel free to follow me as well. I'm on social media. I am Xaviera _ Ice Cream Convos on Instagram, and I am Miss Xaviera B on Facebook. So feel free to connect with me there, and I'll give you a little sneak peek of my personal life. Not too much, because you got to keep something for myself. But so with that being said, we will reconvene on Sunday for our Sunday night chat. It is either going to be on Facebook or YouTube. I haven't decided where I'm going to do it yet, but it is our Sunday night chat. It goes down around between 7 and 8 p.m. So we'll recap some of these stories and talk about some more celebrity news that's going on during the week. And I just love you guys, and I'm wishing all of you a magnificent 2019. I appreciate the way you support me. I appreciate the way you support Ice Cream Convos. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. This will be our 9th anniversary this year. 9 years of Ice Cream Convos. So I'm super excited. The app is coming soon. The online course, the blogging course is coming soon. And if you are a blogger and you are interested in some one-on-one consultation, reach out to me and let me know. I am also doing blogging consultations as well. Okay? All right, so have a great day. I love you guys, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.